And one thing.
Fine, let's start. Hello all. So I am Abhay. We are meeting today to start your process. Like some of you have completed their course, some of them have started their course, and some of them are in the middle. Okay, so we are here to understand what we are doing and what we are supposed to do during the training, after the training, and to achieve our goal. Okay, so I hope English is okay to everyone, right? Everyone can understand, right? Please respond to my questions so that
Yes, yes, yes,
I will
yes,
be able to
sir.
understand that you are all are there and listening
Yes.
to me, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yeah, if
Yes.
anyone wants to turn on their video also, I will join. If anyone wants to turn on their video, so it will be good to have a communication. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen and then let's start. Okay, yeah, so we are basically, we all of us here in the call want to be a Power BI developer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so for that you have enrolled this course and you will be studying hard to get the success, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yes, sir.
right. So some of you have joined SQL now and will be doing Power BI later, and some of you have completed Power BI also, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so yeah,
Uh,
fine. So see, basically what this is a package. Like for a Power BI developer, to be good Power BI developer, he needs to have both skill, like basic Power BI complete knowledge and basic skills of SQL. Okay, so to get the data into the system and then to do some basic operations on the data and use the data effectively into the Power BI, so we need basics of SQL knowledge. And for the Power BI developer, you are like you have done the course, so that is sufficient for you to work in the industry and to deliver to deliver into the projects effectively. Okay, but for that you need to practice along with uh, the knowledge given by the trainer. Okay, so now we will take on to the next level. Okay, can you just hold for a minute? I have a wait. Just give me a minute. Hi, Al, I'm back. So let's move on to to the next slide. Yeah. So what we have to do? We have to focus on the training. Okay. So what during the training, like we have Power BI training. Okay, so when the trainer is giving us the training, we have to understand the concept of the each topic, right? So whatever the topic he is teaching us daily basis, like we have sessions weekly or daily, so we have to understand the concepts, and if we have any doubt, then we have to like ask the trainer and get the doubts clear, right? Did you get my point?
Yes.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that
Yeah.
when you apply that while making a report or while working, you should be thorough clear with the concept, and you should apply that knowledge or you should apply that concept to the practical problem. Okay, and then the trainer is giving you the assignments also, right? So you have to practice those as well. So these things are to be done parallelly and not to be done on later basis, right? So you should not postpone all these things, like keeping a doubt in the notebook and asking after the course, or you will say I will ask tomorrow, or practicing the assignment tomorrow or after the week or after the completion of course. So this will pull you back. Okay, so the things which are there, that to be done on time, right? Those should not be postponed. Okay, this will pull you back. Okay, so if we have to be competitive, then you have to be very specific to these things. Okay, understand your doubt, understand the concepts, clear your doubts, and practice regularly the assignments given by the trainer, and be proactive. Okay, so what else I have to do? So during the training, also, like as a Power BI developer, you have to play a lot of around. You have to play a lot of. You have to play around with the data. Okay, because the data is the basic thing which will be there as an input. Okay, so you have to analyze the data. So in the form of Excel, be there in the form of SQL Server data. You have to develop the thinking how I can build the report from this raw data. So if some raw data is there and some problem statement is there, okay, so you have to understand what kind of data is this and does it match my requirement. Like if I'm a marketing company and I have to build a sales dashboard. Okay, so for sales dashboard, what what kind of data I need the orders, I need the shipments, I need the vendor details, I need the like this kind of basic detail I need. And for output, like what is the output of the sales report? So you should think like there should be profit, there should be sales, there should be month on month sales, there should be like a target. So this kind of all thinking should there be in your mind, analyzing the data and how can be my output. So you should develop this thinking while during going through this training. You get my point? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
while when you get any assignments or when you search online for any data or Power BI reports, just go through the data very on the very first step, and then start to build your report or think of your output. So data is a very basic step, and you have to analyze the data and develop your thinking towards the output, like how my output will be, what calculations I have to do. Okay, and then during the course, like when some of you have done the SQL, some of you have done the Power BI, or some of you are during the course. Okay, so what you have to practice, making the dashboard and the reports on your own. Okay, so there are lot of examples, lot of questions on Google. You can say there are multiple reports of Power BI present, like for manufacturing sector, for pharmaceutical, for logistics. So there are n number of Power BI reports present on the web. Okay, you just have to put proper keywords and search for the Power BI report. So you will get what kind of KPIs they are using to and to for making a dashboard or to analyze their performance, and you will get the required data as well on the web. Okay, so during this course you have to also start parallelly thinking to develop the dashboards and practicing the dashboards, so that you can build your own use cases and you can use those as your project during your interviews. You got this point?
Yes,
Then
sir.
Yes, sir.
then we will go into the Power BI. So in the Power BI we have a data modeling step, right? So do you know for those who have done the data modeling, do you know what is data modeling?
No, sir.
No.
So data
Yes.
modeling is the so some any one of you know what is data modeling in Power BI? What do we do in the Power BI?
Yes, sir.
So can you
In
explain?
data
So
modeling, we create the relationship between different types of table
hello,
and
anyone,
setting the cardinality and
please.
all these things.
Okay, so please say your name and give the answer. Who is speaking? And okay,
Dhanraj, sir.
Dhanraj. Okay, Dhanraj, please tell what is data modeling.
In data modeling, we create the
Uh,
relationship between the different tables
uh-huh.
and set the cardinality according to it.
Okay. Any more example? Anyone wanted to give? Some other person was also interested to give the answer. Anyone else there who wanted to share?
So may I?
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
please.
This is Abha, sir.
Yeah.
So data modeling basically is analyzing whatever data you have related to a particular project and establishing a relationship between two different data sets.
Okay. 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 Fine. Anyone else here wanted to share their knowledge? No. So let me try and summarize it. So Dhanraj and Abha, so what you have told that are in line, but what is data modeling? So when we come into Power BI, or so the data is in very raw shape, right? So the data engineering team builds the data, and it gives us to use it for report. Okay, then as a Power BI developer, we have to do some basic ETL operations on the data in the Power BI Power Query Editor, or let's say SSAS, or let's say in the SQL wherever possible, mostly in the Power BI Power Query Editor or in the SSAS. Okay, so in the Power BI, what we do, like we can delete the columns which are not required, right? We can add the columns which are to be required. We can delete the rows which are not required, and we can transpose also, like column to rows, rows to columns, right? And there are if in the data set there are multiple tables, but those tables are of not use of us, like all the tables are of not use, right? So we can we can we can ignore those table, right? Do you get my point? And we can build a effective data model in the Power BI, just like power data model example is the star schema and the snowflake schema. These are some of the basic example. And what Dhanraj told is like to create the relationship, and yes, so that is one of the steps to create the relationship between the two tables. Okay, so to create the relationship and then build the Power BI report out of that. So this is what data modeling means, right? Am I clear on this?
Hello, sir. Basically, we are furnishing the data like
Yeah,
according to our requirement.
we are shaping the data, right? We are shaping the data according to the requirement.
According to our requirement. Okay.
Yeah, so that there should not be excessive load on Power BI engine, and our report should be optimized to its performance, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is basically data modeling. Yeah, so what I wanted to say that you have to learn effective data modeling during your course only. You have to learn how to create fact tables, how to create dim tables, and make a star schema model in the Power BI, right? So that is also a task you have to do during your training. Is there any echo, or any one of you hearing echo? Do any? Okay, now it is stopped. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So data modeling is done, right? So you have DAX also in Power BI, right? So how many of you started practicing DAX and understanding DAX and using those for practical scenario situation?
Not yet started for me.
Okay. So it has been taught, right, in the class, like the basic DAX functions they are teaching, right? They are covering in the course, right? So
Starting from next week, I guess.
okay, starting from next week. So you have to understand this DAX very effectively. Okay, because these are very you can say key part of Power BI which are used for calculations in the inside the Power BI, like the data modeling we discussed a few time ago. So DAX is the next step to have the correct output of your data. So DAX are very important. So you should focus on the DAX, like sum, X, calculate. Like if we have to do the we have to calculate the profit for in the simple mathematics. What we will do to calculate the profit, we will subtract, right? So subtraction, addition, division, multiplication, then some time intelligence functions are there. So this kind of all logical operations are performed inside the DAX, and uh, from basic it goes into the complex. Okay, so some calendar functions are there. We can write a calendar, financial calendar, quarter to date, month to date, year to date. So this kind of calculations we can do using Power BI DAX. So during the training you have to focus on this as well, like you have to understand the basic DAX and uh, uh, get the uh, for get the doubts clear during the training only, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. Then next we have, just a second.
Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay, wait. Now is it visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is only summary, na, for Power BI.
This is only summary, correct.
Okay.
Uh, just give me a moment. Some of them are in the lobby. I have to just admit them into the meeting. Just wait.
हेलो मैं तो चेक कर रहा हूँ
Hello. So also now what we have to do during the training session. Okay. So one point I forgot. So about myself, like we have introduced this session as a mentor session, right? So your trainer is giving training to you. So what is my role here? So I am here into your supporting role, right? So if you have any doubts, that can be confirmed through me, and you can clear your doubts, and for your future process, like some of you have some documentation process also, right? Some of you have a word with Yogesh and Rahul sir as well, right? So that process also will be there. So if any doubts are there, or during the interview process you have any doubt, or during the preparation of after the course completion, you can connect to me, and then we can solve those problems, and I can help you to get through your process. Okay. So yeah. So now did all get the point? Am I
Yes.
audible? Yeah. Okay. So now we'll focus on like what we have to do during the training session. So as you will be going into the industry and you will be facing the interviews. Okay. So you have to focus on your English communication. So some of you might have a good English communication and some of you might not, or some of you like you can understand English but you are not proficient to speak correctly, or 100%, let's say you have 50-60% of confidence. So you have to build that during your training session. So next step, you have to prepare for your self introduction round as well. So when we go into the interview, so we have self introduction. Like the very first question is self introduction. Tell me about yourself. So you should be prepared with the script, like what you will be telling about yourself. So what it should include? It should include about yourself, your educational background, your family background in short, your you can say professional summary, like if you have any experience, you have to tell about yourself, about your role. Okay. So in this way you have to prepare yourself for the self introduction summary round, first question I mean. Okay. Then during the training, what you also do, you have to search for different Power BI reports. As I said earlier, like you have to build like training. In the training, you will be given the knowledge and you will build some basic reports in Power BI, so that you can build effective Power BI reports after the training, so that you can use that as per your project. So some of you might be working exactly, some of you are not working. So you have to thoroughly understand the concepts and you have to search parallelly about the concepts of Power BI reporting, and you have to search different dashboards, as I said, like marketing dashboard, sales dashboard, manufacturing operations report. So when you search, when you Google like operations Power BI report, so you will get number of links, and out of that you have to search, you have to collect the relevant one, and then you have to try building it on your own. Then and then you will understand how those reports are built, and then you have to finally build your project out of that. So use cases you have to develop using the the use cases or the reports you see on the internet. So the basic step are here, so like understanding the topic, then practicing the assignments, then analyzing the raw data. So all these steps you have to apply while building your report, Power BI report. Okay. So as I said earlier also, like you have to start preparing for your project. So once training is finished, so your project should be in line. So like you are doing SQL now, it will get finished by like 2 to 4 weeks, and then Power BI also it will take around 1 to 1.5 months if so. Then once your training is finished, you should all be completed. You should all have completed your projects. Okay, and those should be ready with you on paper. Like Power BI file should be present, and your resume also should be ready. So in parallel you have to start building your resumes as well. Okay. While building your Power BI reports. Okay. So these all things should run parallelly. uh, Anyone has any doubt on this?
Sir,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
Power BI reports meaning whatever assignments you have been given, we have to be prepared with those assignments, right? Or
Yes,
we
yes.
have to find some, okay.
So no, yeah,
And
your question is partly right. So the assignments which you are getting, so those you have to complete. But other than that, for going into the interview, you have to uh, build your project, right? So interviewer will ask about your last project. So we'll ask about what was your last project and what was your role in that, and how did you build your last project or use case. So you should know thoroughly how I built my report. So the assignments are very similar to the project, right? So what assignments will give, or assignments are like part of your project. but the project will be like building a 3 to 4 page Power BI report and the dashboard in Power BI services, you can say. So in a Power BI PBIX file, having 3 to 4 pages is a sufficient. So such 3 to 4 projects should be there. Like I say, sales dashboard, marketing dashboard, manufacturing dashboard, like this. So
Okay, sir, but for that, we will get projects from you people, or we have to find for our own projects?
no, so you will get guidance from us, but you have to start searching for Power BI reports on your own, so that you will be able to explain it very correctly to the interviewer, right?
Okay.
Right. If so, the it is very similar to the assignments which are given to you correctly, rightly, right? Right now the assignments are very given, and you are able to understand the concepts from it. Okay, so you can apply those concepts and use that knowledge while to build the Power BI reports, right?
Okay.
So that use cases you have to be in practice, and you should be ready with the final dashboard once you finish the training, right?
But sir, for SQL, we have used mostly commands. So
Yeah, yeah.
what type
Okay.
of project will be there according to
So
you?
yeah.
Can you please give
So
me an example?
for SQL, see, for SQL we cannot show any project, or we cannot share any file to any one of the interviewer, right? So it may be a query also, right? So for SQL, what we have to do, like basic ETL operations, like building a table, deleting a table, inserting columns into a table, inserting rows, modifying the existing data into a table, like adding the calculation, like sum of the two columns. So this kind of basic stuff you have to be there. So like for SQL projects, I will suggest we have some products, and we can show you that you have done the maintenance part of that project. So SQL basics is only the ETL part, basic ETL part, and you are doing a support role there, right? So we will guide for that separately. So we have some SQL. We also have to show some SQL projects as well. Okay. But
Yes,
the
because we are not allowed to do data addition or subtraction by own. That's why I am asking that.
yeah, but the basic during the training, what is taught to you, that is all that is all we require for being a Power BI developer. Like, so you can
Yes,
create a table, you can add the rows, you can delete the rows, you can modify the table, right? And
yes,
there are,
yes,
you can perform, you can make the joins, right? So
yes.
these are only the interview questions which are asked, like basic interview questions, I will say. And
Okay, yeah.
there are some higher level questions also, but this is the start. So this you should be through during your this process. So joins are very important in SQL. You should be able to write, or let's say what interviewers do, they give you a two table. So in one table there will be two rows. In another table there will be sorry, in one table there will be two columns. In another table there will be three columns. So they will say, make a join of this and tell me the output, or say what is the inner join output, what is the outer join output. Okay, so they will say like this, and also they will ask you to write the query about the same. Okay, or they
Yes.
will ask like, what is the third highest number from the row, write the query for to get the third highest number from the row, right? So this kind of questions you will get for SQL. I am just telling the basics, what can be the expectation for SQL, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So these things you have to do, like those who have started SQL and will be doing Power BI, or those who have done Power BI course completed, or those who are under into the that path of completing. So you have to practice on SQL, basic SQL queries. Then you have to complete your project during your training. So once your training is finished, your resume building should also be done parallelly. And then once your training is finished, we can work on your resume finally, and then we can review the resume, and you can upload that resume very next week once you complete your training, and you can search for the jobs immediately, right? So that you should not waste the time, right? So another thing I wanted to focus, like you should start going through the job descriptions for Power BI developer. So if you search on Google, LinkedIn, Indeed, Hirist, or the other job portals, you will get the requirement for Power BI developer. What skills are required to be as a Power BI developer? So as we know, the two keywords, Power BI developer and SQL developer. So these two keywords will be there. But other than that, there are some other expectation as well. So we should focus on that as well during our training. So like there is a SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. So this is a very easy topic that you can learn on your own by checking YouTube videos, or let's say it is very similar to the Power BI data modeling we discussed, like adding a row, deleting a row, then adding some mathematical, adding calculated column. So what we do in Power Query Editor, we can do it in SSAS. So these kind of things are asked in some of the job descriptions. So you should also go through the job description so that it will be easier for you to study according to that and apply to the jobs. Okay, so start going through that from the beginning or from today. If some of you are not doing so, start doing that as well. So did anyone have any doubts in this, like what we have to follow during the training session?
Actually, excuse me, sir. Actually, for PowerBI developer, I have checked multiple times on the job portal. So, so requirement is minimum 4 or 5 years of experience.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, it is not like that. We get the job on the 2-year, 3-year experience as well. Did you search for the specific 2-year experience requirement, like Power BI developer 2-year jobs, Power BI developer 2-year experience? Did you search with this keyword? Apply this filter na? When you apply on LinkedIn or Google, or just search on Google Power BI developer 2-year experience jobs, you will get number of jobs, more than 70-80 jobs you will get. Or when apply to
sometimes
LinkedIn,
sometimes it's showing job description as a data analyst. And
yeah, so see, the job description may call the like the opening can be in the different name also: data analyst, data visualization expert, data visualization analyst, data visualization associate. So depending upon the company, the role may change, but the basics is same, right? You have to develop the Power BI reports and the basic SQL operation as well, or any other additional skill, that is Excel. If someone asking Excel, so you should have basic knowledge of Excel also, right? So our meeting will be ending now, so please rejoin on the link. Okay. Hello. Okay, so I think it will end in a seconds, 2-3 seconds, like less than 30 seconds. So any more doubt, we can continue, and we have some points also after that.
so that position doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, position. If you see your skills, Power BI and SQL or Excel, let's say, or any other basic IT skill which you know, so you should apply to that job, right? So data analyst,
Okay.